Millions of people, they visit the valley every single year, and the last thing they want to do on vacation is get sick. Whether you're just visiting or you live here, there's growing concern about rising cases of valley fever, especially with the heat that we've seen recently. Troy Lynch, she's live in studio with us this morning with a new warning from doctors. Troy, what do they say?
Yeah, with our recent heat wave, that's what their concern is about. So it's made in the valley even more dry than it normally is this time of year, and that could mean a higher chance of getting a valley fever. Now, we saw 8,500 cases in Maricopa County alone last year, and so far in January, we've seen over 350. Now, I spoke with Dr. Robert Johns, who is the Divisional Medical Director for Banner Urgent Care, and he told me when the weather dries out, the dirt is disturbed by either hiking, a haboob, construction projects, or in other ways. And spores, they are released into the air, and if you've been in direct contact, you can contract valley fever. Now, lots of people make valley fever, or they mistake valley fever for pneumonia, and in some cases, you can have both. But when it comes to valley fever, symptoms include coughing, extreme fatigue, weight loss, night sweats, rash, fever, and if it's left untreated, it can not only cause arthritis, but it can also be so severe that it can end you can end up in the hospital or be on medication for months. Now, we've even sadly reported on a few cases where the patient has died. Now, this can especially be worrisome to people who come to visit and then return home, not knowing that they have it and their doctors aren't familiar with it.
I have seen cases of people returning home and end up with a diagnosis of cancer. And then when they do a biopsy, they find out it's valley fever and not cancer.
Now, 2/3 of the cases in the United States are in the Valley and Tucson. Thankfully, it's not contagious, and if you get it once, you can't get it again. But the biggest takeaway is if you have pneumonia or have been put on medication for bronchitis and aren't getting better, you should ask your doctor to be tested for valley fever as well. We're live here in the studio. Troy Lynch, 12 News, Today in AZ.